Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. It is the general reporting to duty. Just before I say anything, I just want to let you all know that I love you with my life and my heart. And even in my absence, I am always praying for us all, you all. Um, the reason I'm coming today is because um, at some point, truly, we have to stand up for truly what's right. Okay. And the fact that Breonna Taylor is no longer with us and no one is being charged or is being held accountable for that is a serious problem. And before I say anything else, I would like to most definitely say to Breonna's family, her mother, her sister, and her family that God is with you. And I am praying for your comfort and your peace. Um, Money cannot replace life. That needs to be understood. And a lot of times, what happens is um, there's money is provided to basically blind the situation, but regardless of any of that, there is no blindness. It's clear. We are awake and we see exactly what's happening and what has happened. My heart goes out to her boyfriend that was there. I am sorry that you experienced that, and God is with you as well. Bear with me, you guys. Yes, and God is with you as well. Um, but when these things come about, you guys, we cannot continue. And if you see me going back and forth, it's because I'm on YouTube and I'm on Facebook. Okay. Um, but this is not situations that we can continue to allow to take place. And then we, um, we start it, but then we don't finish it. Okay. This is something that has to be a start and it has to be a finish until things truly do change. Because people are losing their lives, families are hurting, mothers are mourning, fathers are mourning, and it's senseless acts of violence. It's simply coming from people that yes, have contaminated hearts, people that are intimidated, and they have a certain position and they abuse it, and it's simply put as that. And I am here today to say enough is enough. There's no way possible that no one was held accountable for the death of Breonna Taylor, a 26-year-old young woman whose life basically just was beginning. There was no excuses for it. So her life is gone and their lives are at ease. While I'm pretty sure they sit around and talk about that night and that event. It was a senseless act and it was murder. I'm going to say it just like that. It was a senseless act of murder. And the more details that I watched about it, it's heartbreaking. It is truly heartbreaking to know that that was performed in that way. And someone, that young queen, lost her life. And the after effect of the people that were talking about her, talking about the situation, talking to the young man that was begging and pleading And no one, not even the officers that was talking that way, were held accountable. And every last one of them were in the wrong. Every last one of them were in the wrong because they were not supposed to be there that night. But because they knew that she was a Black woman or could possibly be a Black male in that home, and I'm going to call it out just like it is, they did that very carelessly. They did not follow orders, and I believe that. And the fact that someone stood on the outside of that home and began to shoot through the patio window, shoot through the window. Even him that was acquitted the other day. Because you don't know who was in the home. And we have the right to protect ourselves. Kentucky is one of those states that can protect yourself. So if someone is coming into my home, what are you telling me is that I have no safety in that type of situation? That means that we don't have safety. We're not safe in our homes. We're not safe outside. We're not safe driving down the street. We're not safe at the store. And no one, absolutely no one is held accountable. No one is held accountable. How is it possible? I want to know, how is it possible that some of you are able to sleep at night knowing that? And this is what my Father is tired of. Because some of y'all are so reckless. Some of y'all are so heartless and so cold and so contaminated that you could take a life and you can carry on in that type of way. Or you can take a life and cover it up. Because you're saving someone from being accountable for doing that to someone. And to the young man that was in the home, I can only imagine what he's going through. What was given to him? He was in the home that night. He watched his girlfriend be shot and bleed out her body. While he begged and pleaded for help and to stop. And I can only imagine the fear that overcame his body, because he knew at any moment he could die too. I can only imagine how hard it is for him, replaying that night over and over and over again, and to know again that no one is being held accountable. Has to be the most devastating, heartbreaking, pain that one can bear. And no one deserves that type of pain. And who do you all think that you are? If no one wants to ask you, I want to ask you. It's my Father is the only judge. Some of you all have really went way too far. These are one of these times that we really and truly have to stand up and stand up for what's right and not let it cease until they all understand that there will be accountability for taking the lives of someone else. I don't care if you wear a badge. The act that night was, again, an act of intimidation and very horrific. And the fact that after the young man came outside and he was surrendering, the comments and the things that were made are so displeasing. My heart truly goes out to her family. My heart truly goes out to her family. My heart truly goes out to her family, truly goes out to him. But more importantly, we truly have to unify and support one another until there is a true, solid, permanent change. And I don't want to hear anything different, because if that would have been a home of someone of a Caucasian race, they would have not pulled up and shot into that home that way. It's just as if they were having target practice. And the one that just shot blindly, and he was acquitted. No one knew who was in the home. And that was an apartment building. I thank God that no child was hurt. Or even on the young man's life, is that not attempted murder? That was wrong. And he could have died himself. And she did. And no matter what you think about the color of our skin, the color of her skin, she was somebody's baby. She was somebody's daughter. She was somebody's sister, somebody's cousin. A life that heart beats just like you, mine, and yours. A young woman, young royalty with dreams and goals that she would never be able to accomplish because her life was taken prematurely. And the audacity to have these men on these people on these platforms, on the news, these big news channels, giving their account, giving them that type of attention is a true problem. In order to have change, it's going to take unity, love, support, but more importantly, sacrifice. You have to be willing to give up some things. You got to be willing to give up some things. And that's truth. And it might mean that you have to give it up, but your children will have something different. And because of that, we must begin to truly take action and truly stand our ground. The old song was, I ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. There's an issue going on, a real concern. That when people see the color of a Black person's skin, they don't see a human. However, I would like to say that the audacity for any of you that feel that way, is quite sad. And how much more do we endure? I always and will always believe in standing for what's right. And as I always say, my Father stands with the righteous. But my heart and my spirit is mourning for the thought that her mother and her family is still mourning to this day. And there was no one was accountable for their actions that night. And that scene was horrific. That scene was a scene of, you saw a wild animal. That you were on a chase for a wild animal. You said, well, it was a mistake. Well, guess what? Mistake have consequences. Unfortunately. And especially when it's something of that nature, it has consequences. And there should never be a time when we're talking about things of this type. When we're talking about this type of situation where someone loses their life and nothing happens. It's sad and it's very displeasing to my Father and angers my Father as if I am angry now. Young royalty. And I'm watching these interviews as if they're royalty. And I'm here to tell you today that if no one else tells you, that's not how my Father operates. And that's not a part of my Father's kingdom. It is time to stand. Who am I talking to? I'm talking to the ones that stand for righteous. I'm talking to the ones that want to make sure that your children and your children, they'll have concerns, but this won't be it. They'll have something to build on. I'm talking to you. I'm not talking to a particular race. I'm talking to the ones that want to stand for righteous and their children to be treated equal. And on the same playing field. And to be treated as a human being and not like some animal. And then get away with it because of that person being Black. It's time to do something. It's time to do something. Some things may make you uncomfortable to do, but standing up for what's right is a must. Because it could have been you, it could have been me, it could have been your sister, it could have been my sister, could have been your niece, could have been anybody. Breonna Taylor is a part of us. She is a part of our family. She is a part of our family. Amir Locke is a part of our family. Trayvon Martin is a part of our family. George Floyd. Sandra Bland. These are not distant. This is our family. Maybe that some of you guys need to hear it that way so you understand. That's our family. Kentucky. This is the United States of America. And I must say, the way that you all have handled this situation makes me feel like you're just not a part of the equation here. Because united we stand and we're one nation under God. Just because a person is an officer does not give them a pass for taking life. And I don't see how nobody not one official in Kentucky could have seen this justifiable. It makes me want to question the whole leadership there. And many other states that have allowed this to happen. I am completely tired, and I know many others are as well. Excuse me. However, this is what I mean, though, you all. When I say the things that I say, if you have not watched my other videos, go back and watch my other videos about getting things together within ourselves internally and mentally so we can focus on the bigger things. Small fish feeds oneself or a small group, but big fish can feed the multitudes. For a long time now, we have been catching small fish. But now it is time. At some point, we have to catch the big fish. There is a real serious issue that's been going on. This issue has been going on a long time. But what I will say is that our Father has created some very beautiful, creative, smart, strong, courageous people. People of good character. Ones that know right from wrong. And it's for you. It's time for you. I'm talking to you all. No matter who you are. What color, what race, what status. I'm talking to you. It's time to truly, I'm not gonna say wake up because we all have been woke. We are not asleep. We know exactly what's going on, but it is time to start to really take action. And getting things taken care of, unifying, supporting one another, laying down our own issues. We can't focus on the big things because we got issues within each other. We got small things going on that we can't focus on supporting one another. I can't unify with my community because half of us don't like our neighbors. You get where I'm going with it? So these small things that we waste so much time on bickering about and making it an issue and wanting to broadcast it to the world. You want to broadcast something to the world. Broadcast change. You want to broadcast something to the world. Broadcast how we can make a difference as a people. Not broadcast, please. I don't want to. I don't hearing about this beefs and drama. Not. It's not worth it. Not right now. Love your brother. Love your sister. Figure that out. But this right now, this time, this moment, what we need to broadcast is change. What we need to broadcast is new. There's new here that has arrived. And the new is saying, we are all human beings. We deserve respect. We deserve to be treated with love and kindness. We deserve equal opportunities. We deserve equality. It is not anyone's fault, not mine or anyone's, that we are different. Some of us are Black, some of us are white, some of us are tan, some of us are olive complexion or whatever. That's not our fault. That's our Father's. And if you have a problem with that, I most definitely would love to direct you to the Father. He talks back. However, I know that some of you all are not. But enough is enough. Too many. It has happened. It's happening more and more and more and more. And all families are getting is a, you know, a pat on the back. I won't even say a pat on the back. It's more like a high five. Hey, yeah, we took a life, but we're a police officer, or I'm this, so I get a pass for that. No, you do not. No, you do not. And where is the evidence? If there is evidence, where is the evidence that these officers made themselves known before knocking on this door? You have body footage of everything else. Body cameras on everything else. Where is the footage for this? And like I said, every other person. I may not be mentioning all the names. You know why I can't mention all the names? I'm going to tell you why I can't mention all the names. I can't mention all the names because the list is so entirely long. The list is just way beyond. Enough is enough. And we can't even march. We can't even march without that being made into someone that's trying to do something, and we're even getting attacked in the march. But I watched, just like many other Americans, many other people of this world, I watched and many others watched our state capitol be attacked. And from a distance, when the camera would be pulled back, I must say, I could not tell the difference. If that was humans or not behaving in such a way. Climbing up buildings, hanging off the buildings. Yeah, I can't. From a distance, you wouldn't have been able to tell. Disrespecting, I won't mention any names, but disrespecting public official offices, taking pictures in their offices. Completely trashing. Excuse me. Completely trashing our state capitol. I watched our state capitol be made a mockery out of. And to this day, I know that half of those people have not been held accountable for their actions, for being a complete embarrassment to our capital in the United States of America. But because of the color of someone's skin, that was a complete disgrace, displeasing, discouraging for our children. And the fact that those pictures and things like that are still up. Somebody really, it shouldn't even be. But the fact that that was okay. I know some may have been injured, but I know that a lot of people went home that day. You've barely seen any aggressive force. It was almost appeared to be, it wasn't enough people to get this situation under control. And that was the state capital of America. But a Black person is in their home, minding their business, and they're shot down like an animal. They're not climbing on no buildings. They're not in the Capitol. They're not trashing the people offices. They're not doing any of that. And again, another example of not being equal. And the reason why is because majority of the people that did that day were Caucasian. Let's be honest. Am I speaking bad about all Caucasians? Nope. I love them. I love them with my life just as I love everyone. Every Black person. Love them the same. I love everyone the same. And that's why I'm saying what I'm saying today, because that's how everyone should be. However, there's some people that are completely contaminated, and your contamination has polluted so many others, and it's polluting my Father's world. The young lady, give me 1 second, because that was somebody else that just went through that. Let me see, 1 second here. The killing of Daunte Wright. Another one, you know, Why is it so much leniency? Because I took a pledge or I wear a badge? But what does that have to do with the heart? What does that have to do with the intent? What the heck does that have to do with the fact that I might wear a badge, but deep down, I'm intimidated? And when I'm faced with somebody that I'm intimidated with, because I do wear a badge and I do have a gun, the first thing I do is pull out my gun because I'm going to call it out just like it is. I am intimidated by someone of color. Darker skin, lighter skin, it doesn't matter with some of you all. Any kind of skin outside of your color, that's what you're doing. However, if two people are outside and if a person is outside and they go to the wrong house, and we're not two people outside, but if a young man go to the wrong house, kick in the door, and he shoots another young man, that is murder. That's murder. And that young man is going to be sentenced like a murderer. How is it different? It's not. And it's not, you cannot justify it. It's not justifiable. It's not justifiable. So what do we do, people? Come together. Unify. Do not allow these names to die down until justice is served. Get uncomfortable. Some of us are so comfortable. We so comfortable in our lives now that we just can't even be moved out of our seat. Get uncomfortable a little bit. Because this is our family. This is our family. Every last one of them. I did not mention Michael Brown. So many. I can't really keep up with not keep up with them, but it's so many that I don't have a list right here to even just name them all. We know. Be bold and courageous. We watched that. I watched it. You watched it. The world watched it. How the White House was overtaken. The state capitol was overtaken. The White House, but the state capitol. And we all sat back and we all were saying the same thing, like, wow, if they had been black, we all said the same thing. And I'm saying it out loud. And I'm saying it just like, well, there was others that said it, but I'm re-saying it again. I'm the door's back open. If they were black, it would have been bad news. It would have been a slaughter. And that would have been highlighted. That would have been a part of history about how thousands of black people were killed. Get where I'm going with that? How thousands of black people were killed. Enough is enough. I'm tired. I know you all are tired. It's disappointing. Minnesota, you're another one. Another state that is constantly. There's so many. So many. So many states, so many cities that has been pained by this type of senseless acts of violence. That's violence. I'm telling you right now, that is violence. That is not, I'm protecting and I'm doing my duty. No, you're not. You're violent. You're a violent person. You're a violent person. You're an intimidated person. You are a person that is struggling within the inside. And something needs to happen. And this is why it's important for us to come together, because something needs to happen. There are different things and laws that need to be discussed to put in place, because we are human beings. Do I want any officer to be, their lives to be taken? No. I come from a family of police officers. Police officers and military. So I would never want a police officer or, just saying, I don't want them to be protected, or I don't want them to feel like they can't protect themselves, because I'm not saying that, because I understand that they are criminally bad people. But just like I said, I don't know how many people invade the White House. I mean, not the White House, but the state capitol. Though the same police that was out there that day, that's the same type of police we need in our communities. There we go. That might be a good start. The ones that was out there that day, that act like they didn't even know how to, they didn't know how to diffuse they didn't know how to diffuse a true riot. That was a true one. They didn't know how to diffuse violence, because that was a lot of violence that day. Those are the police. Can we get some of those in our community? Because clearly a lot of them were out there like not like just really in awe. They didn't know what to do. They were in a position of being fearful, and that was being displayed. Okay. But for some reason, in our communities, there's a different type. And those type doesn't really work for us. Yeah, we need some new officers. We need some new officers. We need some new laws. Just provide us with something new, because it doesn't work anymore. That system is broken. That system is broken. Some of us have not lost our lives by officers, but by just pure evil. Yeah, you. Some of you all just are contaminated of no return. It's really too much not anyone can do. I mean, it is, but you know, some of you are just so contaminated and so just evil. So it's not just police officers. Just some of you are just evil people. Just like the two guys that were the young FedEx driver, I believe he was FedEx or UPS, one of the two. He was dropping off mail, but he was being shot at. You see what I mean? Those are contaminated people. And while we continue to treat Black people like they're animals, all I'm saying is those type of acts are not really human. That doesn't display human characteristics to me. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's possible. I'm here to tell the truth, and I will tell it until the end. That is not act. That does not display characteristics of a human being. I love you all. I love every family. My heart truly goes out to you all in a way, in words I cannot describe. I don't have a lot of words to describe the pain that I feel behind that. That, you know, from your loss. Another one, just because it just came up on my mind, Kendrick Johnson, the young man. Again, this wasn't. I'm not saying it was a police, but you know, just the passing of this young boy, and no one really has an answer besides something that it does truly does not make any sense. Okay, and I'm a firm believer if it doesn't make sense, then 9 times out of 10 it doesn't. It's not right. Because when something is right, you're gonna be able to make sense of righteousness. Okay, righteousness is evidence. Um, yes, Kendra Johnson. But again, another young boy, another young child is innocently life was taken prematurely, and no one really truly has an answer, and no one knows what happened. We don't know what happened. We don't know why it happened. We don't know. Yes, somebody knows. And again, it's just enough is enough of it. Stop. Enough is enough of it. Stop. Enough is enough. And then when somebody speaks out, then you want to hurt that person. No. Touch not my anointing, do my prophet no harm. No weapons formed against us shall prosper. So I'm gonna take your life in your home. I'm gonna take your life if you stand up for us taking your life. I'm gonna take your life for standing up for marching or protesting. No matter if we're doing it peacefully or not peacefully. And then that's another thing you want to say, well, it wasn't peaceful. Well, this is the thing about that. Again, when you want to start talking about peace and marching in a peaceful way, all I want we to please replay the state capitol. All I want us to do is replay the state capitol for it, please. When people are losing their lives from senseless, careless, violent acts, and it's not one or two, but this has been going on for many, many years. And you tell them that them being out there marching, and some may be angry, that they're wrong for that. How dare you? Who do you all think you are? I'm saying it to you as plain as I can say it to you. I don't know how to say it in the most political way. I'm saying it to you way just as plain as I can. Who do you all think you are? No, they're out there because they're tired. Some of them are angry. Our Father gets angry. The Father God gets angry. It's okay. But are they hurting you though? They probably are angry. I don't agree with it. Don't, under no circumstances do we have to show that way. We are very smart, creative, strong, courageous, beautiful people. And we never, ever have to step off our thrones because we are royalty. We never have to do that. But we have enough in us, enough creativeness, enough courage, enough strength when we come together to say what we need to say and get the job done. One thing about our Father, even though He's angry, He can get angry. He says, you can be angry, but sin not. Nothing comes out of that but with peace and righteousness. It is peace, righteousness, and true love for one another, which true love is sacrifice. Giving up something, getting a little uncomfortable. But enough is enough of this. If you can't control yourselves, I can give you a recommendation now. If you can't control yourselves, okay, and you're intimidated by someone's skin color and things like that, just go ahead and go in your homes and stay in there and lock yourselves in there, please. I'm not saying that you cannot be a part of the world. Most definitely can, but you really don't need to be out here in population like that. You need to stay in your homes for most of the part. President Biden, I am asking, please, if somebody can, if anyone sees this, I'm asking President Biden, please, make sure they have the type of jobs where they can go ahead and stay in the house. As far as the police goes, there's something that needs to happen. I do not have an idea or a true recommendation at this time, but I know with the creative people that my father has on this earth, I'm pretty sure somebody has an idea, a recommendation about what we're gonna do with this police. What can we do about police officers that take their positions as opportunities to justify what's already in their contaminated hearts. And you're taking situations and you're making it seem like, oh, this situation made me act this way. No, that's not the truth. And I'm here to say it. I am here to say it. I'm here to put it out there just like that is not the truth. It's not. Okay. Um it's just not the truth. And we need to start going into these into the prison systems. That's another thing. There are so many black men and women and I'm going to say, I would say all races, but majority blacks that are locked up in prison, just like you got cops that's just killing with no, and it's not justified. You have black men in prison right now, and what they're in it for is not really justified. And because Black people do not have the means to hire the proper representation, the proper lawyers and things like that, they have to take plea deals and things like that. Not only that, but again, a police officer get 2 years for killing someone innocently. These guys get off innocently for killing Breonna Taylor, and um, and um, and excuse me, guys. And these people, they get and they're in prison, wrongfully accused, and missing out time on their families, broken homes, and things like that. And again, a lot of it is because of the color of their skin. And they don't have the means to fight. They don't have the means to have, proper lawyers and things like that. Enough is enough of all of it. It's time for families to be reunited with their loved ones. Because like I said, I know it is. I know for a fact I can stand on it. I know it is. I know it's people in there sitting there right now, 20, 30 years for something they didn't do. Or if they did do it, the crime they did not cause for them to have 30 years for it. I know it didn't. And when you think about the life of most Black people, it's because people fail to want to understand us. I mean, think about it. We are not born in. We're not born. Majority of us are not born with a silver spoon. Majority of us are born in broken homes. We're born in broken homes, single parent homes. Mom trying to take care 2, 3, 4, 5 kids sometimes by herself. Dad is, or dad is in and out trying to make money, trying to do it the best way he can. Because he is Black, he doesn't have the equal opportunity. So he find himself trying to, find himself outside in the streets. Do I agree with it? No. But because that's where I come from, I understand it. Because I had family members and I seen it. And you'll give him 40 years. But that person that sat in that office, sat in that government office and took a picture and kicked his feet up, I wonder how many years did he get? If he got any years at all. And that was so disrespectful to the person office he was in, to the state capitol, and the American people. That was federal. But this Black man that really got caught up in a certain lifestyle, trying to feed his family, put food on his table, he is in prison and probably won't see daylight again. It's absolutely wrong. When you need to free them, and put the people in it that need to be. Because there's plenty of them out here. I'm telling you right now. It's a couple of them, right? It was about 3 or 4 of them in the Breonna Taylor case. Okay? It's time for a change. It's something new that needs to happen. Everything evolves. Everything. Plants, animals, trees, the world. Everything want to involve but the government. Some of y'all are really some, and I'm not just saying the government, no, not government, but the laws. I'm gonna say laws, not government, but the laws. Just because it's been here for 100 years, don't mean it is right. Okay, new things, new people, new everything going on, and it's time for a change. It's time to stop. It's time to really listen and start to understand that every black person that you see is not a threat, not trying to harm you. Again, being evil does not have a color to it. Being evil has to do with someone's heart and what's inside of them, not the color of their skin. And y'all are, a lot of you all have made it a black thing, or not even just black, but a other thing. A other thing. If it's a situation where there's a Caucasian and a Hispanic, guess what you're gonna do? The same thing. If it's a Caucasian and an Asian, guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna do the same thing. I just seen in New York where a Caucasian man is around here hurting Asian women. Why? You get what I'm saying? Anything that's other, anything that's not the same as you, or some of you are, because I don't want to box everybody in, because it's not everybody. Just like it's not every black person that's bad. It's like it's not every Hispanic that's bad. It's like it's not every Asian that's bad. But for some reason, when it comes down to it, it's the Caucasian group against everybody else of color, and it's not right. And I stand for every last one. I stand for every last other. Every last other deserve equality. And I stand for the Caucasians that, and for the white people, Caucasian people, whichever one. Okay, like I said, I don't know about being. I'm not even trying to be. I'm being as real as I can be. But I don't know. And I stand for them, the ones that are standing for what's right, and they see it as they see it themselves. I'm even standing with them. But what I'm not standing for is the ones that are completely consumed with evil and think that you run this world. The time is up for that. We need to move on from that part so we can deal with other things. There's other things that need to be addressed, like we're going into the new those type of things. President Biden said something about, like, manufacturing like more electric cars and lowering the cost of them, things like that. Okay. Lowering childcare for everyone. Childcare doesn't just affect one color. Everyone needs childcare. Things like that. These type of things, these things have been going on for so long. These are the type of things that could really be, should not continue to be an issue. But it is, because you're contaminated, and then your kids are growing up, they're contaminated because they see you with this behavior. Then their kids are going to grow up with the same behavior. And then, so that means that my child and then my grandchildren will deal with the same thing. No. We are all one under God. We were all created by God. And He created us different for a reason. I wouldn't even want to be a part of a world where everybody looked the same color, thought the same, talked the same. I wouldn't. It would be so boring. Okay, it would be boring for a lot of us. But we're all different because we all have a purpose. We all have something that we are supposed to bring here. We are all different because We are supposed to learn from each other. And when you're learning from one another, that brings on connection. Enough is enough of it. And as he said as well, the 1%ers. Y'all, some of y'all, not all of y'all, it's not all the 1%ers, but some. Y'all have, again, contaminated and have completely polluted everything, or trying to. Enough is enough. Okay? We have so many things going on in America right now, but that need to be addressed. Homelessness, children homeless need help. Children are dealing with mental illness. Well, I'm not gonna say mental illness. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna use the word, but will moments, mental moments, something like that. I don't like that word. Or distress, shall I say, something of that nature. But it's so much going on. And again, a lot of y'all are in comfortable positions. Y'all don't care about nothing else except continue to pollute. Free the innocent. It's time to free the innocent. It is time that the message is known that if you are taking an innocent life, that you will be held accountable just like any other murderer. Any other murderer. It's time to send that message out. A badge or not. A badge or not. Because my heart goes out for Trayvon Martin. Very sensitive. That was a child. That's how polluted that system is. I believe, I don't forgot what state was in Florida. Whatever that court system is, that's a very polluted one. That's how polluted that system is, that child was killed. And an innocent grown man, walked away free. An innocent grown man walked away free for killing a child because he was black and had a hoodie on. A child. But because he was black, we couldn't even look at his age. His age wasn't even looked upon as being a child because he was black. Because he was black, he was considered an animal, and basically he deserved that. Because it was his fault. He was walking to the store that night to get snacks, and he had a hoodie on, which I wear hoodies all the time. My son wear hoodies. There's a lot of us that wear hoodies. A man got off for killing a child. Enough is enough of that. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. I'm tired. Missing girls. Majority of those girls are black girls. I was watching something about that the other day. Where are our black young girls going? Where are they? Somebody please help us understand, where are our black young queens? What's happening to them? They're not vanishing in thin air. Why are they missing? And I am not, again, and not saying it's a race thing, but I'm speaking on a real thing. And one thing that I do know, one thing that my father has told me, and that is that there is freedom in truth. And there's solid foundation in truth. So what's going on? What's happening with that? You know? I love you all. One other thing, but yes, I did just had to get on here tonight because I had to get on here tonight because I seen that, and I've been seeing a couple other things, and um, that it's enough is enough. You know, it's one of those type things. So I had to speak on it tonight. I pray that, because I don't really have a big following, and it doesn't matter. I'm always get up and do what God tells me to do, but I pray it reaches the right people and it's understood, and the general is ready um, for whatever it takes. What is a friend? What is a friend? Unless they're willing to lay down their life for someone else to live. So with that being said, that's that. Um, I love you all with my life and my heart. And I know God is going to make a way if we simply begin to band together, lay down our personal issues, deal with that stuff, deal with that stuff somewhere over there, but not here. And you know exactly what I mean. So we can focus on the big fish. Okay. Um, yeah. And we have a lot of friends out here. Ukraine is showing us what it is to be friends to one another. That's an example of true friends to one another. They are out there um, taking it blow for blow, however it comes, for one another, for their children. And if you don't know what a friend is, that's what it looks like. I'm gonna stand out there, and I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna defend what's what's what I know is rightfully mine. And your life is yours. Well, our life belongs to God, but He gave it to us. He granted it. Okay, and it's not to be taken for granted, and it's not for no one else to take it for granted. So Ukraine is showing us what that looks like. You stand with each other. You you be courageous with each other, and that is an example of that. Um, my heart still goes out to Ukraine. Um, I am truly saddened. Father is saddened about. Well, I'm gonna say this. It's very displeasing to see, shall I say. I am trusting that um, I am trusting that people continue to support Ukraine and unify. I do see that there's some attempts to try to rectify things on their end. I'm not quite sure. I'm not a politician, so I don't really know. I don't, so I don't really know how that works. And again, I can only go by what I see on the media. Um, but it does appear like they are trying to rectify things on their end, and I'm not sure if it is successful or not. But I do. Um, it is great to see so many support and continue to support. Continue to let Ukraine name ring. Don't let it be something that dies out. That's what we do a lot of times. But no, there are people over there. They are fighting and they're fighting for their lives. They're they're standing with each other. And again, I'm not sure what's going on with Putin and why he's taking this type of stance. Well, I'm not gonna say I don't know why, but what I will say is this most definitely seems like a bully type of situation. And no matter what it may look like, bullies never win in the end. But I'm praying that God touches your heart. And I'm praying that this will cease, because this is not only hurting you, it is hurting your country. Okay? And it's putting a bad blemish not only on yourself, but it's putting a bad blemish on your country. And, um, it's just not a good look. And it's not, you've been doing it for a while now. It's just not one of those things that me personally, I would want to have a part of my legacy. I do understand that we all make mistakes. I do understand that things happen. But then again, like I said, some of us are just way beyond. We're way far to the left. And some of your actions is appearing to be heading in that direction where it's just way to the left. There are women and children that I've seen have been affected, which is so sad. And again, this is only by what I'm going on through the media. Yes, with speaking with our Father and things like that, I would not make mention here online. But I will say that I do see what I see on TV, and that is not a good look. That women are children. Something else that I've seen, that people of color. I hope this is not going. I hope this is not going on in no country where people of color of Ukraine are not able to flee. That's what I've seen. Again, it's something that I've seen. That people of color are having a difficult time with fleeing from Ukraine for safety. We are all one people under God. Everybody deserves to have safety. Okay? We all deserve that. So please do not deny people because of the color of their skin. Again, my heart is out to both the citizens of Russia and to Ukraine, and the citizens of Ukraine, to the leadership of Ukraine, to the leadership across the world, for the ones that are standing up. And I tell you, some of you, man, you guys are, I listen to you all, and some truly do. For the ones that I see, the most bring true joy to my heart, just, and I pray, and it's just a blessing to see, and I pray that you all continue to use the best judgment, and use wisdom when with dealing with these situations. I am not in there, so I don't really know how that works. Most definitely could have an idea, but um, I am understanding to certain things, especially if it's not confirmed by the Father. Most definitely want any type of ideal or recommendation to come from my Father and Father alone. Um, if it's coming from me, but I am proud of that. Um, my heart goes out to the Asian women that were um, that experienced that in New York City. Yeah, I think it was yesterday, today, one of the ones. I pray that you all are okay. You guys are comfort, and that from here on out that you all are protected. Um, yes, my heart is going out to any mother and child that's been affected by this situation. Um, and for everyone, every country, be of good courage, stay strong, trust God. If you don't know Him, it's a time to get to know Him. It's time to get to know Him, start praying, learning who He is. Um, mhm. Get to know the Father. Because there are going to be a couple things that begin as we see there's things that's happening, and this is not one of those things that's just gonna so it's a lot of things going on. And this is a time, honestly, that you really got to get to know Him and begin to make a choice. God is not looking for perfection. He's not. He's not looking for people that is perfect. He's not looking for people that they don't do anything. They just live in a, no, no, no. Some of us do have to live that type of life. Some of us do have to live that life where we have to pull back from everything, and we can't do a whole lot of this and a whole lot of that, and that's okay, because we're content with that. Okay, but not too many. Jesus, 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 Jesus fed more people than He called to walk with Him. And I'm saying that a lot to that was more directed to like the pastors and stuff like that of the churches and things like that. Don't get too caught up on our religions and what we our personal things. Okay, Jesus called. Jesus fed more than He called. Feed the people. Feed the people. Teach the people. Encourage the people. No, they're not going to be perfect. Do you think that all those people that was out there, all those thousands of people that came to see Him, you think that all those people that was out there and they listened to Him, they probably they was traveling from everywhere to come and see Him when He was there. You think they were living perfect lives? No. He knew they wasn't. But the Bible says that you plant the seed and the Father do the watering. You got to start accepting people for who they are and stay focused on feeding and not so much trying to force your what you want and just simply give out what the Father wants from us and what He's expecting from us. Some are going to listen and take heed, and they're going to try to follow it to the T. Some may not be able to, they're not going to follow it all the way to the T, but they're going to take heed. But just long as we are doing what we're supposed to do, that's what matters, and that's what time it is at this point. That's what time it is. Making sure that we're doing what we're supposed to do, making sure that we're in position. Be in position for this new thing. And what it is that truly God wants from us. You know, how do we get to everlasting life? You know, yes, and how do we have an abundant life? All those things matter. How do we overcome being stuck on sad? How do we overcome being stuck on angry? How do we overcome being stuck on angry and sad? How do we overcome heartbreak? How do we overcome being fearful? How do we overcome having low self-esteem? Ultimately, it's always up to oneself. A person can preach to you all day and all night, teach you all day and all night. However, you're gonna have to take some type of action, some type of step to apply the things that's being taught to you. So ultimately, it still be up to you. But as long as that we're in position, I don't want no leader, none of the leaders, the churches, to be in bad standing. And I'm not talking about nobody because I truly love every last one of you, honestly, with my heart, my life. And I don't want you to be in bad standing. Need you to be in good standing and in your position is good. Okay? And you're doing your part. Every sheep might flee but one. And Jesus said, even if I have that one, I'm grateful for that. Right? So, all right, so that's ended for me here. That was my Facebook just ended. So I'm not going to stay much longer here on YouTube either. My phone died here. So I just want to end it by saying I love you all. And I am praying for us all. I pray that everything that was spoke about today can touch someone at some point, because we all deserve a change. I love you all, my life and my heart. Jesus is your best friend, as I always say. And you have a friend in me. God bless you all. You all have a wonderful night. Until next time. Bye-bye.